I am at work freaking out a little right now because I just realized that I only have 34 days until Christmas, which equals a lot of presents that I still have to make. I'm trying to do the math of like how many I could possibly get done in that span of time. Good news is that'll be a lot of yarn out of my stash. Bad news is probably going to be a lot of late nights. But also good news is it'll probably be a lot of content for you guys. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Anita Louise Creates, and I'm Anita. I realized very quickly this week at work that Christmas is only 32 days away, and I have yet to finish any of the gifts I promised to make my loved ones for Christmas this year. So I pulled out all of the yarn that I intend to use for Christmas for all of these gifts. I figured I would walk you through my plans, and then you can see me feverishly attempt to finish all of these gifts before Christmas. Let's start with the one that I'm actually currently working on, and I have been for probably about 6 to 8 months now. It started as a failed attempt at a blanket. I say failed because I did not like the size of this. So I'm going to frog all of this and use it towards another blanket, which I'll explain in a minute. This is the current blanket that I've been working on, and it is going to, when it's finished, be 2 of these balls. Now this is already an entire ball of yarn, and in this bag that I have on my feet is another ball of yarn, and I've started to work my way through it. However, there's about 75% of that ball left, so that project needs to be finished. And on top of that, put all this here. These 2 balls of yarn plus that failed blanket there will be another blanket, and these 2 balls of yarn will be a 3rd blanket. Yes, don't ask how I got myself in this situation. I'm too nice to say no. I also promised my stepdaughter a pillow made out of this yarn. It's the same yarn that I used to make her a teddy bear, and she loved it so much that now she wants like her entire bed set made out of it. So I said that I would make her a pillow to start, and then eventually also make her a blanket. My aunt also asked me to make her a pair of mittens. She's my godmother and my favorite auntie, so obviously I'm gonna say yes. So I chose this macchiato cake that I showed you guys to make her a set of mittens. I feel like this yarn is very wool-like, so it would work very well for a pair of mittens. It is 20% wool, so that makes a lot of sense. Now, for everyone else in my life, I had the idea of crocheting something relatively small, relatively quick, but something that everybody would kind of enjoy for the Christmas season. So I went online and I bought Editing Anita, I had to mute this section just because of how loud the crinkling of these packages were. These are clear plastic ornaments that I intend to crochet around to create cute Christmas crochet baubles or ornaments. In the theme of Christmas, I wanted to stick with traditional winter / Christmassy colors. So I went with this really nice, like tealy, maybe it was more of like it's a pretty blue. It's a very wintry blue for me. These 2 greens. Obviously you need a red in there. Oops. Like, gosh forbid we don't have a red for Christmas. 2 balls of white, because I'm going to use a lot of white from these ornaments. Probably do one color and then white and then go back and forth. And finally, this giant Karen 1 pound ball that I've had literally forever that I will probably pair with something like the white for family members who are very neutral about their Christmas. You might be wondering how many ornaments I would have to make and how many gifts I would have to make. And I did a little math. I would need to make 3 blankets, 1 pair of mittens, 1 pillow, and 22 ornaments. So we're looking at probably about 224 hours worth of work in the next 32 days. So please pray for my sanity as I try to accomplish this. Also, for any family members who might be watching this, I love you, and I'm sorry that I lied and said that I was further in your presence than I actually am. That is completely on me. Shifting into more of a vlog style, here I am getting my hair done and crocheting at the same time. My hairdresser was so understanding and she loved to see the work that I was doing. Here's a little update for all of you. It is currently past 11 o'clock. I have been working this blanket for several hours now. I had to unravel it back to basically where I was before, thus undoing all of the progress that I made, getting my hair done and such, because I messed up the color pattern for the plan pooling effect. So I'm basically back at square one. My head is pounding and I am tired. I worked a full day today, so it really sucks, but here we are. I had a family event to go to, so I brought some yarn along and figured I'd start on a different project. This was the result of that session. I had a good time with my family, and in the process, I also got a bunch done for my stepdaughter's pillow. I used a size L hook for this project. And the yarn in question is Sweet Snuggles by Loops and Threads. Here I'm just looking for the colorway, but I can tell you that the color is coral. It is a jumbo 7, and the usual is a USP hook. I prefer to use something slightly smaller. Here's the result. And then I moved on to the mittens that I promised my aunt. So this is the macchiato cake. It's 80% acrylic, 20% wool, bulky 5. Crochet hook usually is 6mm in the colorway grayscale. I chose for this project to use a wooden crochet hook, and it is in fact a 6mm. I then went about setting it up on this lovely little stand, courtesy of my brother for my birthday. And voila, there's the first mitten. This took me about 3 hours to do. The pattern link will be in the description. Here I went to start the second mitten and realized that one of my lovely fur babies chewed the end of the yarn off. So And here we are. This is about 2.5 hours worth of work on the second mitten, and all I could do for this session. As a final check-in for this video, I would like to show you guys what I've accomplished in the last couple of days. I had these mittens done for my auntie. I love how they turned out. I'll definitely make sure to include the link to the pattern in the description. I finished the outside of the pillow for my stepdaughter's pillow. Now I just have to stuff it so it closed. And a couple of rows of this blanket that I then had to unravel and then redo. So apparently my video just decided to cut off, so it is late at night on a work night, and here I am finishing up by saying thank you so much if you've made it this far in my video. If you like what you're seeing, awesome. Definitely subscribe. I would love to see you stick around and follow me some more on this journey. I will put the amount that I think I accomplished here this week, and I plan on updating you soon. So until then, bye guys, take care, and see you in the next one.
Welcome in, there's space for you here.